And welcome to Mystic Brew, my second video of the evening, or middle of the night. So this one is Truces, Alliances, the Growing Coherence. Doing my YouTubing research during the day and the evening and into the night, I saw a particularly good example of people really understanding what it's going to take to build a better future. I was listening to a conversation with Alex Jones, Mike Cernovich, and Roger Stone. Mike Cernovich is becoming a very highly respected independent reporter. He kind of does his own news thing. He has some serious patrons who are enabling him to do some very powerful work. Then you have Alex Jones, and he's got his business model with his products, and he's expanding. And then you have Roger Stone, who was part of the Trump campaign and wrote a book recently that's very popular about the Trump campaign. And the beautiful thing that Mike Cernovich said was about, that people are taking, like what is almost like theft. Like Cliff High is very popular. So people will take old videos of his that everybody's already watched, put them up, and because the way, if you put up a video recently, YouTube tags it as new. I mean, it's not like, if you just put up a new video, no matter how old it is, it goes up as new. And so Cliff High has been pillaged a lot. And, he is not thrilled, and nobody is thrilled with probably being pillaged. But Mike Cernovich, with this news, which he feels is important intel for people to have about what's going on in D.C., and he also, he did get his press credentials, which has annoyed the fake stream media no end. He said, I don't care. He goes, as long as my information gets out there, he goes, I don't care. Sell ads, monetize it. If you can make money getting the word out, I don't care. And Alex is also, asking people, to do things and, putting out more reporters. And it was just really great to see these three people who said they have zero interest in trying to turn this into, quote unquote, like a business model, which usually means it grows endlessly or always grows, rather than sustains itself. Very different. Sustaining yourself is an organic type of business model. The cancerous tumor that will grow incessantly if fed, and generally will look to get fed, is a different business model, and it's alien to us, actually. So this is kind of coherence, and part of what I'm hearing these guys say is, they're comfortable enough. Alex probably has something tucked away. He probably has money tucked away for the future. Now, this is a concept I want to work with a little bit here. What I'm hearing, which they're not quite saying, but I think what they're realizing is that this is the time to, first of all, our money is still fiat, and with the world crashing right now, now's a good time to try and take money and get some kind of lasting value from it, whatever that looks like, whatever has an impact, whatever, whether it's a real thing or, something that is impactful. And because there's not much, first of all, if you might have a whole bunch of money socked away, like in a savings account, and then something strange happens and that money isn't socked away. But let's say that money remains untouched. Okay? What kind of future have we saved for? And what I'm hearing with these in the language and in the passion is these people realize that saving for the future, that if we don't do something about we're headed for, is nothing to save for. In other words, it's better to get to a better future with less savings, because actually the way we can build community will require less savings. There is so much of how we care for each other is being sucked up by huge corporations. People getting paid obscene amounts of money, and they don't know the first thing about care, but boy, they know how to, run a business, this alien business model. So yeah, what does he say? He says, give it away for a future. Okay, now this is about truces and alliance and a growing coherence. Now, I don't know how many of you people are aware of other YouTubers. There was a very prominent feminist, very spicy, saucy, seemingly, and now I'm really trying to exposing a seemingly intelligent social justice warrior, feminist, And so she had videos on it, and occasionally I would watch videos that would roast her, and I just every once in a while, I guess I watched a few of them, and I went like, okay, I think I've had my fill. Every once in a while I'll watch one, but I'm really not going for that stuff. It's not what I want to do, and I know little by little, I think there's less of an appetite to do this because it just doesn't feel that great. The people we're lampooning, we don't hate. There's no real hate here, except sometimes from the ones who seem to want to punch in Nazis. It does seem where at least there's an expression in the language that sounds a lot like hate is coming from this social justice anti-fascist movement. But I think there's less appetite to attack, just like in my earlier video with dealing with Corey Good. What is changing? Let's talk about those amplitude Schumann waves. That stuff is certainly helping. There's cosmic waves. There's so much. There's, Sophia's awakening from a Gnostic perspective. And it's having really good effects on the humans, which are most of us. And it's people are cracking. So Lacey Green has been what I guess the term is red pill, or it has at least tasted the red pill. Whether she's red pilled is another thing. Now that comes from the Matrix, where Morpheus is offering Neo the red or the blue pill. The blue pill is to stay in your consensus reality that is a construct, or come out of that and come into what's real. Now the Matrix movie is from Hollywood, so it mixes truth with all kinds of silliness, but that's not the purview of this video. So anyway, what do I have here? SWH. Oh yeah, I mean, in many ways, but with the Matrix movie, this mindlessness, like these people show up and they just kind of all say the same thing. It's almost like they're being run from a government computer. It's almost like they're a form of Agent Smith from from the Matrix, except in this case they're representing an ideology rather than a strict bureaucracy. This is a different kind of organic, and it needs to be managed almost like a culture in a petri dish. And right now, but I also see the steam coming off of that for any number of reasons. But I just really think Lacey Green is really, she's got a good intelligence, a good head on her shoulders. And of course, she also has a large following because it's below her chin, which she makes sure the camera is there. It's I get it. I don't care. And actually, I think many people are like, "Oh, please, Lacey, don't stop." Anyway, that's another story. But Lacey Green is taking heat, but not from everybody. And little by little, as we start to realize that we'd rather have maybe really good spicy debates, but this is where we go back to testing our intellect, our wit, our creativity, how solid an argument is, and we're not just coming from programs. And I think it'll produce good fruit. Just that little extra struggle to get it out there, I think it'll produce a good batch of ideas. And there's a word I'm hearing in different situations and in a certain, like even the Lacey Green thing, I think like she's a traitor to her feminist cause, her SW cause. And then we have, people who are doing some pretty, I would say, subversive things in government, in a way that, in harsh language, could be called traitorous. So that's the word I'm going to focus on for a moment, traitor. And what I wrote is, in the current situation at the national level, the word traitor can be used with some validity, but I would proceed with extreme caution around the use of that word. Subversive is another ugly word, but it just kind of points to what's going on without this, like traitor and executions have a historical relationship with each other, and I really don't like that word. Concept within the concept within a nation of traitors. Now that means within people, like in other words, the SAWs within themselves or anything within us. The word traitor is particularly toxic. Selling out, I think it's probably more appropriate, more appropriate. It might not even still be appropriate, but it's certainly not so toxic. And this rising coherence is coming from people's hearts. Hearts work. There's a heart coherence, and that is a metric that AI cannot gauge. All right, the best they can do is try and create divisions, and then because they insert the ideology, they can kind of track it and do things with it. When it comes to just that humans having that connection, that human connection, that divine commonality, that there's no way AI can really compute that. And similarly, being as that government certainly seems to be overrepresented by psychopaths, psychopaths also cannot game how love that for them it's a wild card. Only a human being can game this system. So I like that. I don't know how am I doing on time. 12 minutes. And that's just kind of, I just wanted to give a shout out to what I saw today from Alex Jones, Mike Cernovich, and Roger Stone, and just how they were just like, let's just make this happen. Let's bring back the Republic. And that is something I recommend everybody. I'm not going to say read the Constitution. Just look it up online and read as much as you think you can stomach. But again, there's a formula there that is important, and everybody sharing that formula fixes the world, including stupid things like prohibition of marijuana, because from a cosmic law perspective of what was given to us by the Creator, what was given to us to live on this planet, anybody stepping between us and that arrangement is in cosmic violation and basically performing the function of a demon. And in the way the Constitution is written is that there's a common creator, and who created the earth, put man on it, gave man earth as their domain, which is really kind of where you get dominion. Dominion has a ickier feel to it. This is our domain that was given to us, which gave us dominion. To us, as a collective. Now, we've had a problem with people coming out of the collective and saying, no, we're special. And we can see that has had problems. And currently, these special entitled people, especially in a place like the United States, but it's worldwide, are out of control. And the United States, with its Constitution and its amendments, that has allowed its population's voice to have teeth if a little bite might be required. Usually, look, If you go to a dog and you go to pet it and it bares its teeth, you know that the dog means business. It doesn't have to bite you. So that's what the Second Amendment is about, the ability to have fangs. It isn't about biting people. It's the ability to bite, but that's like, for me, that is not the purpose of the fangs. It's to be able to, it's to show them if somebody gets stupid and crosses our boundaries. And we have really good boundaries set up in the Constitution of the United States. But that will only be example to the world if we actually embrace it and make it happen again. As Benjamin Franklin said, it's a republic if you can keep it. And since the Constitution is still being bandied about and sworn allegiance to, and to defend all against enemies, foreign and domestic, it's still in play. We better play it. And you can't play a game, this beautiful plan. You can't play it unless you know the rules. You got to read it. You can't just jump in. And it'll empower you. The United States Constitution is a humanity empowering document. And if we go, what about the black people being 3/5? Here's what I would say, and what I think probably happened. They had this, the South was part of this. So, and they had to pass this. And my guess is that language allowed the document to pass. First order of business. And as we see, it did correct itself. We can do more correction, but we'll do the correction once we remove the bullshit divisions and the control system that doesn't allow the people who are capable to flourish. And we'll deal with our own knuckleheads. We won't turn knuckleheads into a business that shareholders can buy into. All right, I'm done with that. Be well. Please like it if you liked it. Please comment. Talk to me. Got a question? I past words. Oh, excuse me for a second. Past words. You did say something about dimensions. I said in another video. I would say, did you subscribe? I'm just feeling such bursts of love lately. It's just like, you know what? I've read a few of your comments. I like you. I don't care if you're subscribed. I'd like you to subscribe if you're not. But I don't care. And I'll, have a brief video on dimensions and numerology. Okay? So, my love to you all. Man, there's some great stuff happening. And it's just really yummy. And so stay sane, look at the macro picture, and know especially that the world leaders are hip to what a pain in the ass the media is, and they're creating a lot of stories for cover. There's a lot of bluster, there's a lot of noise for the media to report on, and then these guys talk to each other individually. And that's why there's a lot of meeting on golf courses. No bugging. All right, stay sane, stay loving, and stay creative. We're going to start throwing some things against the wall and see what kind of pottery we can make. Until next time.